morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is April the 24th, 2021, and today the topic is Acts 4. I was like, she was too lazy to make a title today. Oh, goodness. There's a couple of titles that came to my mind, but I don't know, I guess by the time I got ready to write the title, I just was like, I guess I'll just go with Acts 4. So, yeah. Well, I didn't do my full routine this morning. When I woke up, again, it wasn't that I was super tired or anything like that. It's just that by the time I came in here, I just decided to just sit. And then at some point, I just decided to listen to, a little music. Y'all know who I'm listening to, right? Y'all already know, Montel Fish. So I listened to a few of his songs and just sat. And then after that, I did my prayer meditation, which was very interesting because it seemed to be, it talked about endurance, and then, and it was like, you need endurance in all things. And of course, they mentioned working out and all that and stuff. And I felt a little convicted, that I didn't do the workout portion today. But at the same time, the part of me was feeling like, Prayerfully, I'll start it back up on Monday and everything like that. But yeah. So eventually I, was listening and got a little distracted just a little bit. But for the most part, I listened to the prayer meditation and whatnot. And afterwards, there was a couple of words that came into my mind and heart, and I looked them up, and how I be, didn't necessarily resonate X, Y, and Z. Then the word courageous came into my mind. And so I looked that up, and I read a few verses, but the one that stood out to me this morning was Acts 4 and 13, and that says, "Now when they saw the boldness of Peter and John, and they perceived that they were uneducated, common men, they were astonished, and they recognized that they had been with Jesus." So, I read that verse, and that was the one that stood out to me this morning, so I decided to go deeper, and I ended up reading the entire Acts 4. So, if you're wondering what your Go Deeper section is today, that's what it is, y'all, Acts 4. But, I'm just going to share a couple of the verses that stood out to me, but, hope that you guys take time to read it yourself and, obviously, I guess, get the entire chapter, if you will, or however you call a book or whatever. But one of the verses that stood out to me was verse 10. It says, "Be it known unto you all and to all the people in Israel, that by the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, whom ye crucified, whom God raised from the dead, even by him doth this man stand here before you whole." Yeah, that's, it's beautiful to read back and everything like that. And obviously, as you are reading, me, I can only speak for myself, right? So as I am reading, these verses and everything like that, I kind of am getting a different, maybe revelation from them. I'm really imagining Peter and John, standing there amongst these people and people questioning them about, by what authority are you here saying all this X, Y, and Z? And they're just like, well, this is the authority. You're like, just pretty much calling it all out. They called out the fact that you crucified Jesus. They also called out that, but he raised from the dead. God raised him from the dead. And, that's that's the authority we come in. That's that's where our boldness comes from. And then the interesting thing is, if I go to verse 14, which is right after the verse that stood out to me, it says, "And beholding the man which was healed standing with them, they could say nothing against it." Yeah, I mean, I guess that, I don't know, just thinking about, again, the authority that they had and the boldness that they had and everything like that. And then I guess standing up there with the healed man being a representation of, all the things they were saying and everything. It's like the people that tried to find fault in them could not say anything against them. I don't know, that's something to reflect on today. I mean, I can say that, I guess, now that I'm reading these verses to you all, I'm a little bit more I was about to say like bright-eyed and bushy tail, because I mean, those of you that just saw me here going live or whatever, you probably was like, oh, she looked tired, X, Y, Z, but for whatever reason, it's like I'm wide awake now. But yeah, that's what stood out to me this morning. Those are the verses and everything like that. I mean, again, obviously the entire Acts 4 can give you all more context of what's going on in this situation. But again, I hope that it encourages you and inspires you in your walk as well, knowing that at the end of the day that we say what we say, we do what we do with the authority that God has given us through Jesus. And, we can stand on that to the point where our naysayers won't be able to say anything against it, So, again, something to reflect on, y'all. Again, I hope that encourages you and inspires you. That's pretty much all I have for the juice. Now, I'm kind of trying to figure out what I want to say to y'all. Well, I'll take a moment now since I've paused so much. I'll take this moment to say thank you all to whoever watched the show last night with Summer Sims. The more I've thought about her and her show and her testimony and everything like that, I was thinking to myself last night that, hands down, she's probably one of my favorite interviews thus far. Just because it was just so real and it just was so like moving, the things that she's been through, but at the same time to still hold on to faith and to still, maintain her relationship with God throughout all of the different things. That's huge. Like I believe her testimony will go far. I mean, I feel like it's already gone far just because I noticed at some point I looked over on our YouTube and we had people watching on there while it was live last night, or while it was, when it went live last night and everything. And so I know at some point she was kind of nervous about, I guess when it was getting ready to air, she did express to me that she was kind of nervous. And I just was like, at the end of the day, but she said she knows it's going to help people, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, I agree, that it's going to help people. I apologize if you feel, any type of anxiousness about the situation of the show. But, I'm really proud of her, though. I'm proud of her for sharing. I think that she's very... I appreciate her transparency, and I believe that it's already helping people, just by hearing her testimony alone. And then anything that she does beyond that at this point, I don't know, I feel like it will be a blessing, So, shout out to her, again, Summer Sims. And, obviously the episode is up, so you guys can watch it at any time if you did not watch it. But shout out to her. Looking forward to see, what else the Lord is going to do with, through, and for her. And I guess I say that to say, as I reflect on this whole idea of boldness today and everything like that, that's the thing. At the end of the day, when you're sharing your testimony, well, I'm reminded of one of the verses that's in Acts 4. Unfortunately, I don't know the exact number, but at some point, Peter and John let the people know that, hey, we can only say what we have heard and seen, and that's the same as some of her testimony. Like, at the end of the day, she's only sharing what she has heard and seen, and at the end, that's probably the biggest thing that we can do as believers, is to share our testimony. Because at the end of the day, nobody can say anything against our testimony. Like, this is what God has done for me, and nobody can come against that at the end of the day, so I don't, like I said, something to think about, y'all. That is something to think about. But the Bible verse of today is 1 John 2:15 and 16. It says, "Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh and the lust of the eyes and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all on Monday, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Hello everyone, it's your girl Miracle Sims, and you already know that your girl is now an author, and my very first publication is none other than a creation inspired by the juice. That's right, friends, you can go on Amazon.com and find the Juice 30-day Bible study journal. And this, friends, I hope and pray will help you create your own Bible study experience similar to the one that your girl here shares with you every day here on God, Sex, and Love.